Well, we did reach out to LG&E today. They tell us crews will be on standby right here in the Louisville area this evening and then into overnight. They're getting those crews ready to restore power if power outages should hit. They say they'll be ready to respond first thing.
Don't forget, make sure you are charging your cell phone tonight. Start charging it as early as you can. Also, now's a good time to download the free WHAS11 app to get your weather alerts sent right to your cell phone. And if your power goes out, don't forget, you can watch our live newscast. We will be on the air overnight if need be, and the warnings occur. We'll be right here breaking in. And our live Max HD radar, you can watch it live on your cell phone. More local news here today at 5. The federal government's pouring millions of dollars into downtown Louisville to bring foot traffic back to the city core after the news of major companies leaving downtown.
It comes as tourism keeps the local businesses in the area afloat while workplaces continue to move out. Ian Hardwitt reports on how a small business is managing the struggle and how the city projects hope to help.
At 7th and Market Streets, the balloons let you know you're at What About Mimi? Mimi herself, Martha McCoy, started the birthday celebration business out of her home. First, it ballooned into sweets, but now they're offering souvenirs to people who visit Louisville for festivals and conventions.
We've kind of set our calendar now based on, those things happening in our city and everything, which is really cool. But
Mimi's favorite customers are the Louisvillians. To bring more of that foot traffic downtown, the city's got a few projects on the way bringing greenery and expanding walkways. Reimagine 9th Street and Broadway all the way. Also, now coming in March, more LED lights at this underpass connecting Nulu and downtown.
And with $90 million invested into Derby City Gaming downtown, Mayor Greenberg's not the only one betting on Louisville. He wants to reimagine downtown, but it'll come with answering some crucial questions, like what comes first, the grocery store or its customers?
Like, it would be great to get a grocery store in downtown Louisville. That would help give folks even more encouragement to build more residential units. There's a little bit of a chicken and egg game, so that's what we're working on, trying to address that.
The mayor also shared he's working with state legislators to get some of the state's billions of dollars in budget surplus to fund a redesign of the Belvedere. In Louisville, Ian Hardwitt, WHAS 11 on your side.
Well, if you are looking to run a business in downtown, there's plenty of help available.
The city and the Downtown Louisville Partnership have resources for new and current entrepreneurs. We've got links for all of them at WHAS11.com. Some of the funding for the 9th Street revitalization and the Broadway All the Way projects have come from the federal government. Senator Mitch McConnell announced more than $20 million will be invested into the projects. The U.S. Department of Transportation is giving over $15 million to revitalize 9th Street and $5 million to revitalize Broadway.
More news right here at 5 o'clock now. A man is dead. 3 others were in the hospital after a shooting overnight in the Fern Creek neighborhood. Officers were called to Overbrook Woods just before midnight. On scene, police found 3 people who had been shot. EMS declared one of those men dead. 2 others were taken to the hospital. They are both expected to survive. In an update this morning, LMPD says a 4th man was later found in a nearby apartment. He's also expected to survive. There are currently no known suspects. Anyone with information on this case can call LMPD's anonymous tip line at 574-LMPD. A person of interest in the Louisville murder who led Miami police on a high-speed chase has now been arrested. We first told you about this yesterday. Police say that Elaine Garcia Perez was found dead in a home on Inverness Avenue here in Louisville around noon on Sunday. His car was then missing from the scene. Well, according to the ABC affiliate in Miami, police found the missing red Camaro after a police chase. Today, LMPD says a fugitive warrant for murder was served on Leobi's Caromina. He's currently being held in Miami on multiple charges, including grand theft auto, fleeing, leaving the scene of a crash, and reckless driving.
We have an update today on the long-awaited retrial for John Wimsett. He's the Bardstown, Kentucky man arrested and charged in the 2020 murder of Blake Martin. Wimsett is accused of shooting Martin outside of a house in front of Martin's ex-girlfriend. Today, the jury heard testimony from the evidence technician at the Nelson County Sheriff's Office. The prosecution walked the technician through questioning, even showing the jury certain pieces of evidence like a handgun, rifle, and the bloodied shirt Martin was wearing.
Everything that comes in is logged in, and then I have to put out a report to see indicating Detective D was transferred to me. I took it out to the lab, checked it back into the lab, and the one that takes it.
The first trial for Wimsett resulted in a hung jury and a mistrial. Wimsett is claiming self-defense.
Despite the alarming number of horse deaths at major tracks last year, including Churchill Downs, the overall number of deaths are trending down. That's according to the Horse Racing Integrity and Safety Authority. During last year's spring meet alone, 12 horses died at Churchill, while another 14 died at Saratoga. HISA announced today there were 1.23 race-related equine deaths per 1,000 starts nationwide. It's lower than the 1.32 reported by the Jockey Club and slightly lower than the 1.25 the Jockey Club reported for 2022. HISA leadership credits the decrease in horse deaths, at least from its numbers, to high standards for track safety and anti-doping.
Underway again in downtown Louisville, expected to start at 5 o'clock, the removal trial for the Metro Council member Anthony Piagentini. Keep in mind, this is not a criminal trial.
Instead, it's his seat on the line, his elected seat, a very powerful position that represents one of the fastest growing areas in the east end of Louisville. Well, the trial started at 5 o'clock. Right now, we're giving you a live look at council court. Today, more evidence is expected to be presented, more witnesses expected to take the stand. It's still unclear if we'll hear from Piagentini today. The only time that he spoke during day one was during a mic check.
Testing, testing, A, B, C, D, E, F, G.
That was last night as it all got started very late. One brief check of the microphone. We did not hear again from Piagentini. His attorney stating in his opening statements that counseled Piagentini to assert his Fifth Amendment right and to stay quiet throughout the trial proceedings. Before we heard the opening statements from attorneys from both sides, Piagentini's attorney, J. Brookins-Smith, made requests to dismiss 2 counts from the trial. Both motions Smith asked to be dismissed were denied last week and were again denied by the council court.
The council court heard testimony from Margaret Handmaker, the former executive director of the Louisville Accelerator team. She was hired by former Mayor Greg Fisher to oversee the expenditure of COVID relief funds, and she worked closely with Chair Marcus Winkler and Piagentini. Both Piagentini and Winkler were on the Workforce Development Work Group. At the same time that Piagentini was accused of using his position to land a $40 million grant for that nonprofit, he took a 6-figure job with them.
We are in the council chambers again right now covering the return of witnesses in this case. It is expected to continue until 9 o'clock tonight. We'll have coverage of the testimony coming up on the WHAS11 night team right here at 11.
Now take a look at this. 2 historic homes in the metro that were a major part in the desegregation of Louisville neighborhoods could soon be gaining national recognition. A movement to register both the Wade and Braden family houses as national landmarks is now heading to Frankfort for consideration.
Both homes have already received local recognition, but it could soon gain a new status thanks to a young Eagle Scout. WHAS11's Jose Alonso tells us more.
The Wade and Braden families have deep historical roots within the Louisville metro, dating back to the Black fair housing movement. An effort is being conducted to make sure both of their houses become national landmarks. In the Shively neighborhood, the local recognition to these families can be spotted from a dedicated park with a peace statue and images of the Wades and Bradens to a marker erected in 2004, a moment Ann Braden herself reflected on that same year.
We didn't sit around brooding over it or tortured about should we do this or not, but it took courage for him to keep coming out here every night when his life was in danger.
She and her husband Carl, a white couple, sold a home they purchased to the Wades, a black couple, in 1954, a deal that didn't sit well with prejudiced neighbors.
Well, they didn't buy it to start a crusade on open housing. They wanted a house. But once they were under attack, they thought, and especially Andrew, but she went along with it too. They had a right to be here. They were going to stand up for their rights.
These families became part of the civil rights movement, and the story of Andrew and Charlotte Wade caught the attention of a young Eagle Scout.
The Wades and Bradens forged a new path to fair housing frontiers. Their accomplishment is paramount when you examine the state of black housing at the time in Louisville in the 1950s.
In a public virtual meeting with the Historic Landmarks and Preservation District Commission, William Bache says he wanted to do more than build a bench and focus on a historical movement.
Through the violent attacks, imprisonments, court cases, In media and neighborhood backlash, the Wades and Bradens remained loyal to each other and changed our nation for the better.
The nomination to make these historic landmarks unanimously passed the committee.
All in favor, say aye and raise your hand so we can count.
And will now head to a state committee for consideration. In Louisville, Jose Alonso, WHAS11 on your side.
Well, that marker to commemorate the multiple struggles and attacks the Wades endured can still be found on Clyde Street in the Shively neighborhood.
It was the 137th marker to be placed by the Kentucky Historical Highway Markers back in 2004.